You're welcome back to In the Mind of Dame, bro. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Woo. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We are here, bro. 2026, bro. We made it. We made it. We made it, bro. I'm actually recording this joint at 12:37. I got a tequila sunrise in me. You know what I'm saying? So we a little whatever, but hey man, we here, bro. We here. I'm kicking off the year the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking off the year the right way. Been gone for the last 2 weeks. I know that's on me. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about consistency and getting right. But bro, I fell under the weather, bro. Like that little flu thing that's going around, bro. I promise you, I had that joint, bro. I haven't been down that bad from a sickness, bro, in quite some time. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare I get that sick and like my lower back was killing me. I was at work, bro. My manager was like, "Yo, you good?" I was like, "Nah, bro. Like, I'm toast, bro. I am toast." I didn't work for like 4 days after that, just straight up struggling, bro. Straight up struggling. But we back, you know what I'm saying? We back, man. So in that little time span, man, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? You know, Christmas was in that little time span where I was gone. I had a great Christmas, man. I had a great Christmas. Spent time with the fam. This is like one of the years I was really proud of myself because I did a really good job getting gifts this year. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was happy and satisfied with their gifts. And then, I went to my cousin's house and then just, you know what I'm saying? I was chilling like with my older cousin upstairs or whatever. We were just sitting there watching sports, watching the game, drinking and whatever. It was cool, bro. It was a good time. My grandmother had pulled up. I hadn't seen her in a minute. So it was nice to do that, man, and just get that family feeling back. Because I ain't gonna lie, those past 2 weeks, bro, it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? I got sick. And just a lot was going on in my head, bro. A lot was going on in my head where I was just feeling like kind of down on myself, like, man, what's going on, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ever get that feeling, bro, where like you really just kind of look back at your life and just be like, yo, what is I'm doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? What am I doing? Like I'm at this job, but what's the next step? How is it going to get there? And then for me, like, I kind of see a lot of the world in a specific way now. Like my view of the world has kind of just become a little bit more pessimistic over time. So then when you kind of look back and you kind of looking at your life and you think about next steps, but then you kind of thinking like, yo, you see this economy and this job market, this joint look like trash. So really what's next? And I ain't gonna lie, in that little span, I was definitely just like, man, I don't really know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Or I really don't know what's next for me. And that was kind of like really messing my head up because I'm like, damn, I really don't know how I'm going to progress. You know what I'm saying? What's this next step for me? And it's more past the job. It's just about just like not even really wanting to work a job. Like I've been kind of vocal about it. Like I don't want to work for nobody no more. Like trying to figure out this entrepreneurship thing. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. You know what I'm saying? But in that little span, you know what I'm saying? I was just kind of just chilling to myself, just thinking a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like really big into reading and everything like that. So in that little span, I kind of picked up a book or whatever. Like I told you guys about The Alchemist. So I picked up another one. I seen Constant I was reading. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it was just about just like adding habits into your life. You know what I'm saying? So that you're not really kind of going off of motivation. You're just going off of actions aligning with goals, and you just have that built into you. So I've been actually working on it. It's been working a lot better. I do feel like my life having some stability, you know what I'm saying, definitely is good. And just how, those small actions that you do just will equal a big goal. So just been working on that, and the time frame has actually worked. What else have I been doing in that break, man? I was binge watching shows, bruh. I binge watched Mr. Robot. Unfortunately, by the time I'm telling you guys this, I would tell you to check it out, but they about to snatch that joint off Netflix, so my fault. But that joint is amazing, bro. That joint's amazing, bro. That's one of my favorite shows I've seen in a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite shows I've seen in a minute, and that was pretty much it. Like in that little break, I really wasn't doing too much, bro. I was just chilling, just trying to get the mental right. And then also I went to see Marty Supreme with my man's Chris and my man's X. Shout out to them. We went to see Marty Supreme. Good movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give a full depth review of the movie because some of y'all might go see it. But it was really good, bro. Tyler killed it. Timothy Chalamet, he did a great job. 2.5 hours is long, but I ain't gonna lie, A24, like that whole camp over there, I haven't seen a bad movie from them yet. Like even when I was kind of thinking about some of my favorite movies from last year, A24 had a couple of them. Like I loved Weapons, that was one. I even thought the Smashing Machine wasn't too bad. You know what I'm saying? So they had a good track record for me. So knowing they did this and worked with it, man, it was a good movie. I definitely would highly recommend. It's a hyped up movie, and I think it deserves the hype, bro. It deserves the hype. But that's it for the 2 weeks, man. But Happy New Year again, man. I hope everybody has a great year, man. It's funny because like as I'm kind of like doing this, I'm kind of texting my friends back, and it's like the common theme for everybody is like, yo, this is our year. You know what I'm saying? I know we say it every year. We sound like Cowboy fans and whatever, but it feels good to kind of like see people just be like on the same time where it's like, yo, like this is the year where that change happens. And even for me, like I'm very hopeful of this year. Something about this year feels dope for me because I really do feel like most of my life, and I was thinking this the other day, like when I was kind of like talking out loud to myself, or kind of like it's almost like journaling, but I kind of would say it out loud, where I was kind of like, I feel like my life, I've been in survival mode for so long, where I'm like, I'm just trying to just do this task to get to this moment that's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And now I feel like this is kind of like that start to a new year where it's like I feel like I'm answering more and more questions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm building that system and that knowledge to be able to really be like, you know what, bro, like even if this and this is going on, we doing this work over here, and this is really the stuff that's gonna get me to where I want to get to. So that's why I've been really big on reading recently, is just to like continue to grow that knowledge. And just even I was talking to my man the other day, I was like, I've honestly, from starting reading again, have been excited to learn stuff again. I feel like the way school was, I was just so burnt out from school because I did that joint for like 8 years straight, just nonstop. That I feel like by the time I got out, I felt like, man, I'm cool off of having to take notes and stuff. But it's been good to do it again. Like I take notes for the pod. I've been reading books and just taking the mental notes and even writing something out just so that I can like grow that knowledge to be able to implement it into my life. And it's been dope so far. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like even for me, like I feel like even when I cross off the list of my cross off things off the to do list, it's satisfying as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's satisfying as hell. So for me, that's really the one of the, like the goals of mine, is to just continue to like have those habits built in and just continue to just keep doing those actions. That's going to get me one step closer. We getting 1% better every day. That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I hope that for everybody, man. I love seeing everybody just coming into 2026 with that energy. Like, I'm about to unleash that dog in me. And I feel you, bro. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro. So, if anybody wants an accountability partner, bro, let me know, bro. I'm in the gym all year. That's the goal, bro. I'm not going to fall off in the gym. I'm going to be podding every week. I got other ideas I'm going to cook up. But nah, man, I'm really excited for 2026 because I ain't going to lie, 2025 was rough, man. 2025 was a rough year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of dope shit happened for sure. Like, graduating college was like peak. You know what I'm saying? Going to see Kendrick, peak. But a lot of bad stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about it on the pod a good amount, but like I lost my faith in God, bro. You know what I'm saying? I came from fully believing in him, and now I just don't even know if his existence is real or not. You know what I'm saying? And making the decision to be like, okay, well, if I don't really know, how do I proceed? Do I proceed living this lifestyle, or do I go out there and say, you know what, this is what we want to do for ourselves and just be a good human being? You know what I'm saying? And since I've done that, has it been hard? Yes. You know what I'm saying? When you lose such a big part of your identity, I feel completely like almost like naked, because I'm like, who is this person who doesn't believe in this thing that was a part of his identity? I don't know. So I feel like going into 2026, it's nice to kind of have that like somewhat weight lifted off of my shoulder, because now I don't really think about it as much. It's more just like, okay, we just live it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the goal, is to try to make this life like a video game you want to play. You know what I'm saying? So how do we do it? I don't know. for me, the goal now is to just like continue to do these habits and that routine of just like, okay, this is the task and the stuff I need to do to get better every single day. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was a rough year for sure. You know what I'm saying? I have really lost a lot of hope in just everything. You know what I'm saying? So much stuff is going around in the world and all that. It's just like, how do you keep kind of like a good spirit about yourself? And on top of all the other stuff going around, you know what I'm saying? Like some of our personal relationships, they kind of fell through. You know what I'm saying? I had, my best friend moved to Texas. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, like that's been a lot tougher on me than I thought because that was my man's. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my man's Caleb. Like, me and him, like, I used to hang out with him all the time. And like him being on the other side of the country, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same not being able to pull up on my man's, go hoop with him. So a lot of stuff changed for me this year. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like 2026 to me, even if time is man made or whatever, it's a feeling of like, you know what, clean slate. You know what I'm saying? Clean slate. We got the knowledge. We growing the knowledge. We can keep advancing. That's the goal, bro. To keep advancing, bro. Because I feel like the consistency thing is the problem I be having. Because for me, I get in my head a lot. I be like chilling, and then I'm like, all right, bet this is cool, but then I start to question myself, man. Are you really good at this thing? Then I'll take a week off to try to get mentally right. Then 1 week turns into 2 weeks. No more of that, bro. This is the routine. Podding has to be a routine. You know what I'm saying? And there's other things that's going to be routine. Going to the gym is a routine, bro. Like waking up and getting meditation in, even if it's for 5 minutes, routine, bro. Like keeping that consistency is really what's going to get me to where I want to be at. So that's why I feel like 2026. It's like, even though I started this before then, it's like, okay, even I have that momentum carrying into the next year. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a new year. So you already know what we got to do. We got to do the resolutions, bro. We got to do the resolutions. My list isn't too long just because I did like a crazy long list last year, and I think I didn't even cross off 50%. I wasn't even close. So I kept the list short. So one of them is to continue to improve on my habits, whether it's for my health, content creation, self-improvement, and just continuing to work towards my best possible life, man. That's really the biggest goal, is to just continue to just do the actions that's going to get me closer and closer to it. You know what I'm saying? If I can do that, we good, bro. We good. Like, I feel like that's really the secret, bro, is to master something, you got to keep getting those reps in. I feel like for me, I be getting the reps in, and I'll stop getting reps in once I'm comfortable. There's no more comfortability. Like, we got to keep going up. Next one is continue to read as a daily habit. I read every night. You know what I'm saying? I read every night before bed. That's like kind of like my unwind downtime. Rather than doom scrolling, I've been reading. You know what I'm saying? So I just finished the book. I'm going to the bookstore today, New Year's Day, and I'm copping another one. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep the books on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a number in mind because I don't want to just be mindlessly reading books just to reach a number. No, I really want to get some knowledge. So, I mean, I'm going to just read whatever comes to mind, bro. Just keep buying a book at a time. Fiction, nonfiction, personal, finance, whether it's self-help. Like, I got a book list, but if anybody got recommendations on books, let me know. I've been enjoying reading again, bro. I ain't even going to sit here and hold you. The next thing on here, I've tried it before, but I kind of fell off of it. But this year, I'm learning how to swim, bro. Like, one of my first, like, kind of, I don't want to say major purchases because it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but one of the first purchases I am going to get that's going to cost a little bit of money, bro, is I'm going to get my passport this year. I'm getting my passport this year, and I'm going to learn how to swim, bro. I ain't going to lie. I'm trying to be in that water, bro. I'm trying to be Mr. Phelps, bro, Dane Phelps. So I'm going to try to learn how to swim, my nigga. I'm going to try to get in that pool, bro. The only thing is, bro, I feel like there's no good swim lessons around here. It was a little easier in College Park, but when I did it in College Park, I had to do the student lessons. And the student lessons kind of sucked because it was almost like going to like office hours for real. It was like, okay, you get in the water, and they were just like, yeah, like, if you need help, just tell us. And I'm like, wait, so are we all, so because everybody's on a different skill level. Like, bro over there, he could be intermediate. He could be learning backstroke. And for me, I'm learning how to float. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of tough when I first got in that joint. So I wish there was another way to look for one, especially because I want to be in level one. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the basics. Like, put me in the joint where the people who have never held their breath underwater. That's my level. You know what I'm saying? Even though I can do that, I'm trying to get nice. So I'd rather start all the way at the bottom than start in intermediate and then they throw me in 8 feet and I die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to get cooked out here. So I'm gonna learn how to swim this year, bro. I'm not really as scared of the water as I used to be, especially from already doing it before. Like, at least a little bit, like being a little bit more familiar with the water. But I would like to, you know what I'm saying, really get nice at that joint. Because I'm trying to be in the pool, bro, or be on the beach, learning how to swim. You know what I'm saying? If I go somewhere, bro, like, nigga might want to go snorkeling or something. Well, nah, that might be too far, bro. Because they be in that ocean, my boy. Or at least, bro, because me and my man's Chris, we be talking about, like, yo, we might have to get the squad on a cruise or something. And I be thinking to myself, like, yeah, cruise is lit. But, bro, if one thing goes wrong on that cruise, bro, like, these niggas hit an iceberg like the Titanic or some shit, bro, we are toast, bro. Like, we are in the middle of the ocean, bro. That sounds terrifying, bro. I was like, I need to know something. Because if that happens, bro, I'm instantly cooked at my current skill level. You know what I'm saying? At my current skill level, I'm instantly cooked. So I need the basics, bro, so I can at least give myself a fighting chance. You feel me? The next joint is get out of the house and do creative projects. I came up with this idea one night, especially going into this year, where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just be honest. If you don't know what this term is, the term is called nihilism, and that's kind of what I've been going through. Is kind of just going through like what is the meaning of life? What is the point of all this? You know, that kind of that whole thing, like the existential fear and crisis and all that. That's kind of really what I was like going through the past 2 weeks. And I feel like a good way to combat that is to just get out of the house and just stop asking these questions. You know what I mean? It's to just be present and just like I watched this one lady on YouTube and she kind of said something like build sandcastles just for the enjoyment of building one. And it was kind of like symbolic of just your life, of just like, rather than asking yourself what's the purpose, what's the meaning, all of that is going to come. Just experience life the way that you would enjoy it, just for the fun of doing it. Yes, we probably are in the Matrix. We could be in a different universe. We don't know what's going on. Blah 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 blah. We don't know. We're on a floating rock. You're just a species. Just enjoy yourself. So I think for me, one way that I think would be dope is to just go out, bro, and start vlogging. You know what I'm saying? I've really been trying to really look at my life as kind of like, okay, like I've had these experiences somewhere along the line for a reason. You know what I mean? And especially after reading The Alchemist, where they would just talk about the signs in the universe and just utilizing those signs, those omens, right? So I was like, you know what? An idea for me would be I'm gonna get out the house once a week. I'm gonna take myself on a little solo date or hang out with the homies, but we're gonna really do exploring. We're gonna go try things we never do before, especially things that maybe we would be too scared to do by ourselves, but we gonna try it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And vlogging, you know what I'm saying? I remember I was really into like the vlogging phase of YouTube for a little bit. I was watching like DDG, like people moving to college and their vlogs, and just I was a really big vlog guy at a point in time. So I'm like, maybe that was a sign that maybe I really fucked with vlogging. And people know, when I was in CP or whatever, I used to vlog the night out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would vlog the pregame, vlog the club, vlog the aftermath. Like, I was out there. You know what I'm saying? And people really was like, oh, the vlogs were hilarious, bro. So it's kind of like, maybe I'll do that again. You know what I'm saying? Just, it would be something dope. It would be creative. Get my brain to do something cool. And it would be an excuse to get out the house. So that is a practice I really want to introduce. And I actually create like a Finsta. It's called Dame's Creative Outlet. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want it, it's kind of like a little Finsta page where I'm gonna just post the vlogs on there, and I'm gonna get nice at that. I'm gonna get nice at recording and editing and all that, so that y'all gonna get that joint, and it's gonna be heat, bro. And it's gonna be me on my little solo days, solo missions, whatever. Just experiencing life in this fullest, bro. That's really just what I want to do this year. Is just really just stop ruminating and get out the damn house, bro. Go learn something. Go see some shit. You know what I'm saying? Go put myself in position to meet new people. You know what I'm saying? Next joint, redesign my room. My room is very basic. It's pretty mid. I'm not gonna hold you, but I'm gonna redesign this joint. I'm gonna get some movie posters. I'm gonna hang these vinyls up. For a Secret Santa gift, somebody got me a record player, so I'm gonna definitely put that joint to use. You know what I'm saying? When I read the book, whatever, Atomic Habits, one thing that they were saying was like, create your environment so that you have things that would help you do your habits. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, one habit that I'm trying to build is like reading every night. So, copy you a lounge chair and that be your reading space. You know what I'm saying? Your bed, that's where you sleep. You know what I'm saying? You got a little work joint in the corner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just having those things so that you're not using an environment that serves multiple purposes. Like if I'm doing my homework in my bed and I watch TV in my bed and I sleep in my bed, it's kind of like you kind of confusing yourself. But hey, if you study at your desktop, okay, it's study time. Your brain gonna be in study mode. If you come sit in your jump in the lounge chair, you're gonna be in your reading headspace. So just redesigning my room to kind of fit that, you know what I'm saying, I think would be a cool idea, especially because I do have a bad habit with consistency. So at least if I'm trying to build this habit into my brain so that it's autonomous, at least having a good environment to do it, it would be nice. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I think my room is overdue for a makeover. You know what I'm saying? So that might be something I end up like creating like a little vlog too, is redesigning this joint. It would be tough, but it's gonna cost some money though. But it's cool. It's cool. A little DIY project. And the last thing on the list, bruh, is travel and experiences, man. I think the experiences part kind of goes with the solo date and creating the vlogs and just getting out the house. But really traveling, man. Like I really want to push myself to actually like take a risk and travel somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a big long drive person. Like if somebody else does it, cool. But like I've never drove more than 2 hours, if that. You know what I'm saying? I've never drove to like another state besides like Virginia. I've never drove to Pennsylvania, New York, and I think 2026 is the year I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I might drive to Pittsburgh for a Steelers game. You know, or at least even if I don't drive there, like if I want to go to New York, take a train up there. You know what I'm saying? And really just get out there and go see this world, man. Like I really feel like I have not seen this world, and I feel like it's easy to kind of excuse, it's expensive, it's this and that, but like at some point, bro, there's a way around it. And honestly, bro, I live one life. If it costs money, bro, screw it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do it, bro. Like let's just make a off the whim decision. I know that sounds wild, but screw it, bro. Like this is what I want to do with my life, is really travel and see the world and experience shit. So it's like that might be a risk I gotta take, but I'm definitely gonna get out this house and I'm definitely gonna get out this state to go see and do some shit and capture it. That's another goal of mine, is to really capture these moments. Like it's good to live in the present and in the moment, but it's also important to capture this, bro, because I do want to look back on it and say, man, I want to do it and show my future kids one day, like, yo, I did this or did that. A lot of my life is really kind of stored in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot of pictures, there's not a lot of videos. It's mostly just, oh, y'all remember this, this, and this, but it's not captured. We can't really go back and laugh at it like we do, because I've always been like so camera shy or whatever. And of course, what kind of help with that is looking more fly over the years or just looking more attractive. So it's been a little bit easier to want to capture moments and take pictures, but it's still a struggle. You know what I'm saying? So that's another goal of mine, man, is just to like grow the attractiveness. I feel like even for me, like just being honest, like I really feel like my attractiveness in 2025, I didn't really go up as much as I wanted to. So this year is definitely gonna be like, nah, we gonna be him on the look scale this year, bro. I ain't gonna lie, we gonna be pulling out fits. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get these locks retwisted and cleaned and all that. Like it's gonna be a problem out here for Dame, bro. It's gonna be a problem out here. But nah, that's the goals for 2026, man. So like I said, man, I hope all y'all have a good year this year. I know that's my goal, bro, is to just enjoy this year, enjoy each day as much as I can, and just continue to build on the life, man. Build that life I want to live. Take those risks and just keep getting 1% better each day, man. That's really all I can do. You know what I'm saying? And just the purpose and the meaning. I feel like I found it, but it will get more redefined and tuned as we keep working towards it, man. But nah, man, what's next? What's next on the docket, bro? What is next on the docket? Ooh, so Tory Lanez released Chixtape, the trilogy. Surprisingly, I had never listened to it in its entirety, but I gave it a shot. I actually listened to all 3 tapes. It took about an hour 50 minutes. Yup, it was about an hour 50 minutes, and it had 2 bonus tracks which I thought were cool. Um, I ain't gonna lie, Chixtape 2, 3, and 4, I think are really good. I think the idea of it is kind of what makes it enjoyable. Is Tory kind of crooning over these old R&B samples from the 90s and the 2000s and all that stuff like that. And I think he does a really good job on it. Like, I think with each Chixtape, you can hear he's getting better or more comfortable, or his voice is starting to kind of sound more mature. Like, I like Tory when his voice is kind of like where it is now. Like, when I listen to Alone at Prom, I'm like, vocally he sounds a lot better than what he did earlier on. His voice sounds like it has more life to it. Like, it just sounds like his vocals have just improved, and he just sounds more confident as a vocalist. I'm not a singer, so I can't really tell you like range and all this stuff like that. But as I was listening to it, it just sounded more mature and more polished as it was going on. There were some really good songs on there. Like, besides the ones I probably already knew prior to it, I thought, what's some of my favorite joints? Just in terms of the whole thing, like Name, I thought Looks was cool. Keisha was dope. Walked Out. Need a Girl. One Call. There's like a run on Chixtape 4 from like Just a Friend to Differences where I was like, oh, he's going crazy. Especially when he did Ignition. Oh, that joint was tough. Ignition was tough. And I also I actually liked the skits on there. I love an album with some good skits and a good little storyline. The Chixtape 2 was for Jalissa. Him and Jalissa falls out, so he sleeps with her friend Keisha. It's a mess. You know what I'm saying? But I thought the skits were dope, when they had the little radio station, the skits with the girls gossiping and the dudes gossiping about what Tory doing with the girls. I thought it was really dope. You know what I'm saying? I will say that my biggest critique of Tory is the fact that I do feel like when I listen to him, he definitely wears his influences on his sleeve. And I think it's sometimes, at times, it's hard to miss, especially when all of these songs are kind of Tory's own spin on something that's already been done. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of one thing where it's like, as much as I do like the project, I wish, I think one reason why I love Alone at Prom so much is that even if it's not the most original idea, there was something he did on that album, whether it was vocally, whether it was the production, that it felt more like him. But Chixtape, to me, it feels like this is kind of like him coming into the beginning stages of his career. And he had been doing music for a minute, especially by the time Chixtape 4 had came out. But it felt like he was figuring it out. And you get to Alone at Prom, and it's like, here's an idea I had, and it just comes with polish because of the reps. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with Chixtape. I think when you start off at 2, you get to 3, you get to 4, you just hear him just becoming better. And I think even Chixtape 2 isn't bad. You know what I mean? But I definitely would say check it out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely some good R&B tracks on there for sure. That I think Tory Lanez is really good at that. So it was pretty enjoyable. I got a list of my most anticipated albums for 2026. I got a list. I'm a music head, so I'm going to just talk about some of these albums that I'm anticipating for 2026. Now, some of these are people, so I didn't really list off people who I think usually would drop every year or something like that. These were people who I'm just like, okay, they either haven't dropped in a minute, or they're slated to drop, and I'm super excited, or they need to drop because I'm down bad from new music. So number 1 on the list, this one's already been confirmed, A$AP Rocky. It's confirmed that he's dropping on the 16th. I don't really know if the 16th is actually going to happen, but a brother can wish, right? I'm excited for it. I'm actually a huge ASAP Rocky fan. The only problem I have with ASAP is just I'm a little nervous going into it because this is an album he's been sitting on for so long, and I'm just like, what version of this album are we getting? You know what I mean? Like when he first announced the album after testing, there was like producer credits from like Pharrell, Tyler, Madlib, and I was like, what is he doing on here? I need this album like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? But now like this album is coming out in 2026 and the sounds are different. You know what I mean? Like this album has been redone or reimagined a couple of times, and I'm just like, I hope whatever it is good. You know what I mean? Because that album that might have been that should have came out in 2020 or 2021 or whatever was supposed to come out might have actually been good, and it didn't come out for some reason. And now we're getting this reimagined work of the album in 2026. So I'm a little nervous because I just don't know what to expect for real. And I'm trying to really take my expectations out of it where I'm like, okay, this is ASAP Rocky who we have not really heard from in 8 years. 8 years. So I don't know what this man is going to do. I think the one hope I got is that there's a lot of people who was kind of in his class that are dropping now that are still doing kind of good in terms of making music. But I'm nervous because I don't really know how you just don't make music for 8 years or you haven't dropped music in 8 years. And I'm just like, are you going to try to sound like what the young niggas are sounding like? Are you going to pick a new sound? Is it going to be creative, innovative? Like, what are you going to do? So I'm a little nervous, but I'm a huge ASAP Rocky fan, and I just have no choice but to trust him. And I probably will end up liking it anyway. So ASAP Rocky, top of the list for me in terms of dropping next year. Number two, Future. I ain't gonna lie, Future. I miss my dog Future. He dropped 3 albums in 2024, and even for me, I was like, okay, like once mixtape Pluto dropped, I was like, yep, sit down. You know what I mean? Because I felt like mixtape Pluto. I was like, yep, you need to sit down because we didn't need this. Happy we got it because I did get some joints off of there, but to me, it felt like there was a part of me that felt like when listening to mixtape Pluto, I'm like, okay, this guy is tired. Like this guy is tired. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even from just the like. I mean, that was like a good sign right there to let me know, oh, this brother is tired. He's been grinding all year, and he needs to sit down and just chill. So I think now is like a good time where it's like, okay, I'm ready for more Future. And plus, we all heard those TikTok snippets, bro. Whatever he's cooking up sounds heat. It sounds heat. I need it now. So Future, come off the bench, bro. It's time to put you back in the game. Go. You know what I'm saying? Put the goat back in the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Next one, Travis Scott. Travis Scott. I think he needs to drop. I think he needs this album more than I think I need it. And I think the reason why I say that is just because after that whole thing with Pusha T last year, I really do feel like it hurt Travis Scott stock more than um I think it hurt Travis Scott's stock more than I think it expected to because even when he dropped Jack Boys 2, it didn't make as much noise. It felt very reactive. And I think from me, just from seeing the perception of Jack Boys 2, to me, it looked like this was the moment between Pusha T and Travis Scott. And I'm like, oh, Travis Scott kind of lost here. You know what I mean? Clips had a huge year last year, and it just felt like Travis coming at them just didn't bode over well. And I think what really happened is like whatever Pusha T said about Travis, and I know I'm kind of off of music, but whatever Pusha T said about Travis, I think people are seeing Travis kind of in that light, and it's kind of hard for them to unsee it too. So now they're like, okay, yeah, like you said that about Travis, I'm starting to see it. So cool. I'm kind of off of him, and I think he's due for an album that I think just really resets it. I don't really feel like Jack Boys 2 was that for him because you've one, I do like Jack Boys 2 musically, but I do kind of not like the fact that it felt like Travis Scott kind of dominated the album, especially when I think Jack Boys as a collective isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like you have Don Toliver, and he really was not. And y'all gave him maybe a couple hooks on a song, or he would do like a little, like a kind of like a little bit of a interlude on the song or whatever. But he really didn't get no moments, and neither did Sofego. And I feel like these were two dudes who I think Don Tolliver doesn't need it, but you have him there, so why not give it to him? Like you can get off a good hit or two. And I'm like, Sofego kind of needs this because you've shelved him for so many years. And it was like every single song Travis Scott was on, like every single song. I'm like, okay, bro, like this is like Travis Scott with just appearances, like almost like how we view kind of like her loss with Drake in 21. Travis Scott did the same thing with all of them, and you know what I mean. And I feel like Jack Boys 2 doesn't really showcase Travis Scott's strengths at his highest. It just shows Travis Scott kind of just making music with his friends in a way, which is still good, but it's not, I think, the richness in the sounds and the auto tune that he does is not as prevalent on Jack Boys as it would be on the solo album. And I think he really needs that. I think he really needs a spark back to kind of get people back on his side. And also, bro, we miss Travis Scott, bro. You know what I'm saying? We miss Travis Scott. I think, to me, he doesn't have a bad album. And, you know, in the last 10 years, like, you know, when we talk about discography and music, there ain't really many names I'm going to just be like, it's better than Travis Scott. I really fuck with Travis. So I think he can go for an album. I feel like, for me, like, Utopia did feel like a good album musically, but it was still underwhelming for what it could have been. But the whole Astroworld festival thing kind of took a lot of steam out of it that he was never going to get back. I'm like, you kind of got a clean slate, bro. It's 2026. You know, this is a clean slate for you too. So get in the lab and get that energy back up. Travis Scott, if he knows how to do anything, is to get the energy back right, get the fans excited for something, because he has a fan base that really wants to root for him. So I think he should drop an album this year. I think he would really benefit from it. All right, next one on this list, Smino. I think I still listen to Love for Rent to this day, and I think we overdue for more music, man. I really do hope we get an album from him this year. Not too much on Smino. Just think that he could really use an album, or I could really use it. Love for Rent is, to me, like, you know, one of the better albums of this decade. You know what I mean? Top 30, 35-ish range for me. So yeah, I would really love another Smino album. We had No Name, like, I think 2 years ago. We had Saba gave us 2 last year. So I would love for Smino to come back outside. I would really fuck with that. Next one, Yeet. Come on, man. Dangerous Life. I need it. One thing about Yeet, he gonna drop every year. I do feel like last year was a pretty slower year for him. You know, Lifestyle came out toward the end of 2024, and then we got a Dangerous Summer in the summer of 2025. And that was really it. It was a slow year. So I think, you know, maybe as a Yee fan, I have to start expecting just maybe, one album a year. Which, I mean, I think is still, you know, pretty good. You know what I mean? I mean, especially coming from a guy who used to give us like 2 to 3 a year. You know, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can drop it down to one really solid one. You know what I mean? And to me, the way he's kind of talking about A Dangerous Life and, you know, just everything like that, and just the direction he's going, I'm like, okay, I think A Dangerous Life is going to be pretty good. It's going to be solid. So I'm going to let him take his time. I'm going to let him cook. And I'm excited for it, man. Next one on this list, I kind of talked about him a little bit earlier. Don Toliver. We need another one, bro. We need another one. I feel like Don, to me, in the 2020s, like in the 2020s era, like if I had like how in the NBA we have all teams or whatever, Don Toliver would be first team player to me. I think in the past 6 years, he's been killing it. You know what I'm saying? No bad albums, numerous hits. I think he was kind of the feature king at 1 minute. And yeah, like I would love to hear another album from him. I would love to hear another direction for which he would go. I thought Hearthstone Psycho was a good album. You know what I'm saying? One of the better albums of that year it came out. And I feel like I said it about every year Don Toliver drops it. He has one of the better ones. You know, Heaven or Hell came out. That was my album of the year. You know what I mean? So now I think since then I haven't said a Don Toliver album has been #1 album of the year. But I feel like this year could be a year he does it. You know what I'm saying? I love Don Toliver. You know what I'm saying? I am one of the biggest. I was one of the founding members of the fan club. So I ain't gonna ever be mad at more Don Toliver. Who's next on this list? Next one, Isaiah Rashad. It's been too long, bro. It's been too long. The house is burning has to be about 4 or 5 years now. And, I'm kind of used to Isaiah taking a good minute to drop. But come on now. You know what I'm saying? It's that time. We miss you. Drop some heat for us, bro. I know you've been cooking, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like TDE, bro. You have SZA, you had Kendrick come off a big year. It feel like TDE should should be dropping albums like out the ass. You know what I mean? There should be a J Rock album. There should be an Isaiah Rashad album. People want to hear from TDE, bro. People want to hear from TDE, and Doechii sound like she's on her way. But man, like it would be nice if one of these OG members drop again because we miss them. We miss them. Even SZA's on the list too. I would love a new SZA album. J Rock is on the list too. You know, I think OG TDE members, it would be dope if two of them drop. I don't care which two. OG TDE, two of them from drop this year. OG, bro. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Rashad, J Rock, if that's all y'all give us and we get SZA the year after, cool. If you want to do Isaiah Rashad and SZA, we rocking. But we do want something though. We definitely want something. Um Next one, this a little underground. Summers. My man Summers, I've been pushing bro for years, and I feel like he one of them ones that I definitely want him to drop this year. He didn't drop not a single album last year, but I think this year he should drop. I think he should go plug and be, and that's it, bro. Next one, Anderson .Paak. We haven't had a solo Anderson .Paak album in a minute. We've been rocking Silk Sonic and No Worries, and I'm a huge No Worries fan, so for me that was perfectly fine. I feel like that to me is I'm honestly like Anderson .Paak at his peak, honestly. But I think an Anderson .Paak solo album really would be something I would want. You know what I'm saying? Like I want him to get back into his own bag and creating the way that he sees fit and doing his own thing. So I think an Anderson .Paak album would be cool. That's one of my favorite guys. I really do think that's one of my favorite singers in the game right now. And last but not least, even though I haven't loved the singles, a Lil Uzi Vert album. I'm not high on it. I'm not like super duper excited on it because I'm not really sold on the idea that it's gonna be good. But it's been a minute. It feels like he even though I'm not loving the new singles, it sounds like he's creating again, and it sounds like he wants to create again. You know what I'm saying? You dropping music, even if it's not hitting for me, just the fact that you in the lab and you getting your shots up and you getting the reps in, lets me know, okay, cool. You trying to get that itch back. You getting that itch back, and you trying to get you one. So I feel like with a Uzi album, maybe he just needs to get more shots up, or maybe he fine now, and maybe I'm just not getting it, but. I feel like this year it would be a good year for him to drop. Cardi had a big year last year, and Uzi feels like the right guy to kind of drop. You know what I'm saying? Like really influence the game again. I would love a new Uzi album. That's it for the list. I know I missed some names for sure, but those were like the top names. I really was like, yo, like I need them to drop now. You know what I'm saying? Next on the list, bro, we got Week 18 picks, bro. Week 18. This is the big week in the NFL. A lot of games with playoff implications, bro. So we gonna start off with here, bro. Panthers versus Bucks. Whoever wins this gets the NFC South, bro. Who do I think is gonna win this game? I'm gonna go. Screw it. Give me Panthers, bro. I'm really not confident in the pick. But I have not liked what I've seen from the Bucks as of recently. Losing to the Dolphins didn't look good. The loss to the Panthers didn't look that good. And I feel like the Panthers can beat them again. I feel like the Panthers are a more deserving team. Like the Bucks should have been better than this, and the fact that they're in this position when the Panthers were kind of not supposed to be in this position. Lets me know that the Panthers are, I think, more deserving of being here. They've played, I think, a lot tougher. Their defense has looked good. Bryce Young, yeah, he's up and down, but I'm not saying he's having a better season than Baker, but he's played enough and he's been clutch this year that I feel like, you know what, I would like to see him in a playoff setting. And if I'm a Panthers fan, if I was a Panthers fan, you need to see Bryce Young in a playoff setting. You need all the tape, all the experiences from Bryce Young you're going to get, because you have a decision to make pretty soon of whether you're going to keep rocking this out with Bryce Young or you're going to go find another guy. You know what I mean? Malik Willis might be a guy that you might be interested in because of the way he's playing with the Packers right now. You might be more confident that Malik might be better for you in the long run than Bryce is. So you really need to get as much film on him as you can. And in a playoff game setting and all that, even if it is his first, you need to see that. And you want to win this game. So I think the Panthers are the more desperate team, and I feel like they will win. Next one, for number one in the NFC, Seattle versus the Niners. I'm going to go Seattle here. I'm going to trust Darnold. The main thing for me that's concerning is Darnold in a must-win game. But I feel like from the wild card game last year to now, that win against the Rams, even though he threw 2 picks, at least he won the game. And I'm like, okay, you kind of have that thing off your back of, can he win a game? Yeah, you threw 2 picks, but also they needed you to win. So you made up for it. Cool. You did just enough to win. And I feel like now that you have that under your belt, I'm expecting you to kind of like build on that. Okay, you could throw a pick this game. You know what I mean? But play well enough. You know, get Jason involved. You know, they have a good run game with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. The defense is beastly. The Niners defense isn't good, so I really do feel like this should be a game that Sam Darnold can go out there and play well, and get the Seahawks to win. All right, next one we got Colts versus the Texans. I'm gonna go with the Texans here. I just think they're the better team. That defense, that front line on that defense is ridiculous, and I don't really care who's back there, whether it's Phillip Rivers, whether it's the backup guy. It's just not going to be a good day for them. Cowboys versus the Giants. I'm going to go Dallas. I mean, I don't really know who's playing, but I don't care who's back there. I don't trust the Giants. I'm going to be honest. Browns versus the Bengals. I'm going to pick the Bengals here. The Bengals have looked dominant the past 2 weeks. They've been destroying teams. You know what I'm saying? I know they haven't been playing elite comp, but that team job been all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been looking all right. Saints versus the Falcons. Neither of them are playing for nothing, but I'm going to say the Falcons, bro. They're not playing for nothing, though. Packers versus the Vikings. I'm going to go to Packers here. Just think, I don't really know who's back there at Minnesota. And watching that Christmas game with that third-string quarterback they had in, bro, it was abysmal. It was abysmal. That was one of the worst offensive performances I have really had to sit through and watch. So, yeah, I'm going to just say the Packers going to win that. Titans versus Jaguars. I got Jacksonville in that one. Cardinals versus the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. The Cardinals are not good. Broncos versus the Chargers. I'm going to pick the Broncos in this one. I think the Chargers can put up a good fight, but that Broncos defensive line versus that Chargers offensive line, yeah, I think the Broncos are going to feast. Chiefs versus Raiders. Who really cares? But I'll go the Raiders. I'm not even really confident in that pick, but screw it. Dolphins versus the Patriots. I'm going to go to Patriots here. They're just a better team. Commanders versus the Eagles. I got Philly here. The Bears versus the Lions. I'm going to go to Bears here. Jets versus the Bills. I'm going to pick the Bills. And Steelers versus the Ravens. Oh, my gosh. The fact that this is even a game with this type of ramifications pisses me off, because we shouldn't even be in this position. And this is why I don't get my hopes up with Pittsburgh, is just because I'll sip the Kool-Aid and be like, you know what, this is where it's going to be, bro. It's going to be different this time. And then it never is. And this year ain't no different. So I'm going to say this. I'm gonna pick Pittsburgh, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. I could really care less if we win. This is the least exciting playoff ramifications Steelers versus Ravens game I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like Ravens fans are like coming up to me talking shit like, y'all don't fucked up now, Pittsburgh. Y'all now we gonna beat y'all for a playoff spot. I'm like, y'all were supposed to be in the Super Bowl while they were saying whether we were going 500 again, and y'all are competing with us for the last wild card spot. Like how the tables have turned. I'm like, if I'm a Ravens fan, I really wouldn't be proud of this season. But hey, man, I'm gonna let y'all rock. I'm gonna let y'all rock. You know, y'all want this win way more than I think Pittsburgh should want it because we not really playing for nothing. I'm not that confident we gonna win a playoff game anyway. And the way Lamar looking, I wouldn't be so confident if I was Baltimore either. You know what I'm saying? Some of the defenses he's gonna be lining up against, the way he's playing, they gonna fuck him up. So if I was y'all, I might not want to make the playoffs too much either. But y'all got it though. Y'all got it. But I'm gonna pick Pittsburgh. But that's it for today's episode. I was going to do a music recommendation, but it's the new year, man. So listen to whatever you want to. If I had to throw one out there, though, y'all know my comfort album, man, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. I was going to do a little full, like, breakdown, but ain't no point, bro. Y'all know that's one of the best albums of all time, man. Go listen to it, man. Especially, I think, in trying times like what we in right now, man. Just sit back, listen to that, man, because that joint keep me right every time. But that is it, man. First episode of 2026. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for listening. I will catch you guys next week, man. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at thatxboyxname. Same thing on Twitter, bruh. And I will catch you guys next week. Peace.